Good evening, everyone. My name is Mr. Twitchy94, for those of you who are new or are returning, and I am today's One Piece Reactor. Today, chapter 1127. I am so excited based on the cliffhanger and speculation that me and my buddy Vonte had previously. So, a couple of different things about where Nami is, what's going on. They did drink the absinthe, and one of the giants did comment on how that could produce hallucinations. Now, one of the most unique ideas that we came up with previously on 1126's reaction was that this would be a shared hallucination between the OG4. So Usopp, Nami, Zoro, and Sanji. Now, a shared hallucination, I don't think we've seen that. Possibly not. Who's to say? And the mechanics of it would be a little bit weird because then would you have the giants in it? Do they have more tolerance because of their larger bodies? It seemed like a very potent alcohol based off of what Sanji had mentioned, just kind of in passing while he was drinking it. But yeah, the OG4 were the only ones that had consumed the absinthe previously. Alternatively, it could just be Loki. Now, I also did see a pretty unique theory about a rival faction of Tantatas. And if you remember for the Dressrosa arc, they were able to change clothing of the giants to them. Now, Nami, she does have a different attire on. Interesting. So, without any further delay, don't really want to recap anymore. If you guys want to know what happened last chapter, read it yourselves, watch my reaction to it. But yeah, if you are watching this presently, just feel free to like the stream for me. Hopefully, I've been saying this for weeks now, I can get to 100 subscribers. I've been very close for ages. Not as long as they've been waiting for Elbaf. But regardless, let's get right into it. So, chapter 1127, Adventure in the Land of Mystery. Right? Oni Child Yamato and the Holy Inari Shrine Pilgrimage, Volume 15. The Daimo of Kuri, Inurashi, grows concerned after these disappearances. All right, they're just chowing down. Looks like onigiri. Looks pleasant. There's a fire! Okay, we're in Legoland already. Get some spring water and put it out. Hey, do you smell that aroma? Giant confusion. Is it coming from the forest? If the flames spread to Yggdrasil, then the country's done for. We need to report this to the great sun god. Something's wrong with this. What could have happened to these stinger mole? They don't just fall out of the sky. Giant bees? People in the forest reported that the tremors we felt earlier were caused when the mighty ear god collapsed. Don't be stupid. What could hurt that enormous rabbit? Big Stein Castle. Yeah, it's still alive. What is with this huge bee thing? Morning, Nami. Say, where are we? Says Zeus. No idea. Last thing I knew, we're still on the giant ship. Somebody save me. Luffy, Zoro, Sanji-kun. I'll even take Usopp. Interesting again. She's doubling down on the OG4 plus Luffy. What's up with me? I don't even remember changing. Am I dreaming? Where is this place? Plop. It's some kind of castle? Nami! Huh? Usopp's voice? Youch! What's wrong with the floor? It's all bumpy. Clatter. It's huge! Shock. Scream? She is very expressive in this chapter so far. Wow. Interesting. But yeah, wait, I didn't mean to startle you. Usopp, where are you? Over here. Save me. What are you doing there? Another monster? Ugh, I got problems of my own. What is this? A monster manor? Shri! Zeus, extendo. Leave it to me. Crap, I'm gonna fall. Just zap it. Yeah, Shri. All right, I'm getting kind of tired of these onomatopoeias already. Whoop. All right, that's a new one. Shri. Nope, again. Wow. 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 Oh, what? And Usopp has already got his Viking helmet on. Oh, that's great. I got a bad feeling. Ditto. Glare. Wow. Hey, Usopp, do you know anything about this place? I remember us drinking on the giant ship. Next thing I know, I'm here with you. Wait, that booze, didn't he say it could cause hallucinations? It's called absinthe, the green fairy. Wow! It's a dead end. Oh man, we're so high up. There's a chance this is a hallucination, right, Nami? Then I might be seeing a cat monster, but turn, huh? It's probably just an illusion. So this will give him the courage, even though this is their reality at the moment, which I've never really understood the people that, oh, it's just a hallucination. It's real to that person. So it doesn't matter necessarily that you know it's a hallucination. Oh my God, he just got Usopp! Oh God. There he goes off the Legoland wall. Usopp. Huff. 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 All right, now it looks more like a lion. Grrr. Yeah, it suddenly turned into a lion. We're doomed. Snap out of it, Usopp. We're gonna die. You just see skulls at the bottom of this thing. But it's also got like its crown at the moment. It's got like 3 circular objects. Remind you of Blackbeard, anyone? Wait, are there eyeballs on those things? What are those things that on top of it? I'm going to scroll back up a little bit to see if I can see it. Oh, it just might be the design of it. It looked like 3 circular objects, but I think that's just the shape of the crown. All right, going back. Hey, I'm not a shield. Nami-san. I sentence you to death for making my beloved cry. Ifrit Jambe, Ipole. Gear 4th, Gumu Gumu Elephant. But covering the eyes, okay. 3 sword style. Kala Sutra, Great Dragon. Rawr. Alright. Not Oda's best page for impact, but it's okay. Twister, Whip, Strike. Yeah. Go back to a pussycat. Oh, he's got a mask on? Okay, that kind of looks raw on Zoro with the goggles. Did it just turn into a cat? I wonder how this guy will taste. Oh, good God. That rabbit we grilled up earlier sure was tasty. She. Nami-san, I was really worried. I was so scared when Usopp died, Sanji-kun. Bruh, are we doing this? We doing this, Oda? We doing this? I'm still alive, and you're gonna pay for that human shield stunt, Cuff. Not again, bruh. Sounds like there might be even bigger ones around. If they look good, I'll get us some. Let's prioritize finding the sea and our ship. We need to establish the crew's safety. If you're going after food, don't forget that bee battalion and their hive. It'll be a shame to waste them since they're so nutritious. How are you guys taking this place in stride? Where the hell are we anyway? Into the unknown, cover and color spread upon return, because there's a break next week. God, Zoro looks like Drake in this. I'm not gonna lie. Even like the way that he's folding his arms across his chest. Luffy just having a good old time. And I think this is actually Luffy here. What I'm thinking is he absorbed enough absinthe because that's the way that they seasoned or cooked the meat specifically. But yeah, a shared consciousness or shared hallucination, I should say. Very short chapter, seemingly. Yeah, Gavin, they had the this was the third chapter in a row. I don't think Oda's done 4 in a while. There's either been like an Oda break somewhere in between, or like Shonen Jump, kind of like Golden Week type of break. All right, let's take a look. All right, I'm just going to go back up to the top and just kind of slowly scroll through. So first of all, with the kidnappings or the disappearances, as they say here, it could either be a CP0 type of situation, or it could be kind of like a getting to Pluton type of operation from the head of Wano, maybe previously the old head of Wano. All right, I'm guessing these are giants on that first page. Yggdrasil. Okay, so doubling down. I don't. So let me clarify. I do not think they are currently on Elbaf as it stands. I think this is just a representation that is being shown to them of Elbaf. So what I mean by that is I don't think that the buildings are actually Legos per se. Could be. That'd be pretty cool. But seems a little bit unlikely if I had to guess. Nami's just on exterminator control, though. That's hilarious. Oh my. And like, did that porcupine transform as well? Kind of. So either way, whether we are or are not on Elbaf, they are at least giving us the possibility to where we can seemingly enlarge ourselves, and this will allow Usopp to be at least on a similar stature as Loki if he does go up against him in a duel. Dun, dun, dun. All right, Nami just kind of bouncing around. Oh, okay. In the porcupine, she electrocuted. That's what fell onto the cat and caused it damage. Nami kind of looks like she has a third eye there, strangely enough. I know it's probably just sweat, but that's kind of drawn a little bit weird. All right. I guess it's interesting that the cat, it looks like the iris, kind of similar to Mihawk / Emu. That could be nothing. That could just be feralness. Usopp does look good with a beard, though. I will give him that. His design, pretty cool. He's got the wrist gauntlets. Usopp getting knocked out by the cat is hilarious. But that was a pretty far fall that they both encountered. It doesn't seem like they took any fall damage. So could this be like rubber or like styrofoam Legos? There does seem to be like some dust and some weight to it per se, but it could explain why they survived. Or Nami just has, inherent hockey, because those skulls next to her and Usopp's crumbled body here on this page, I think some people did die. Although I will say I'm not quite sure I expected Luffy to be here. I do like that he's here, but yeah. Now, I suppose it could be magic that these animals are utilizing to transform, or alternatively, it could be hockey. Luffy's outfit, fire. Zoro's outfit, even more fire now that I see it as a cape and shoulder guards. And Sanji, he's looking like the traditional, I'm not going to say like knight in shining armor, but just like with the kind of like the cape as well. It's kind of more like a scarf. So if you recognize kind of a similar design aspect as Deku in My Hero Academia for the more recent seasons. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say on this chapter. Chopper live action form? No, that's okay. That's still on topic. It's One Piece, Gavin. The Chopper design, I love how they actually introduced the fuzziness for the hat itself. I feel like that was one thing that was severely lacking from Chopper's design, especially more recently. He just seems like he has brown skin as opposed to brown fur on top of him. Welcome, Vonte.
Yes, sir. Detective Chopper.
Yeah.
That is indeed the correct route.
I like it. Good stuff.
Chapter, I had it in the background. I was doing some stuff, but I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching. But when I was reading it, the cat, right? You see, the cat has a crown and all that. I was thinking they had to do something with Nami being like the cat burglar and like some kind of like Easter egg from Oda. But maybe
the design on its crown, it kind of looks like a sun, but it has those frayed little peaks, kind of similar to what we see on Mihawk's kind of like cross aesthetic, or even what we see in Mary Joie for the like the catacombs that Emu was walking through.
Right. This hallucination thing is kind of interesting. Wait, hold on. My mic is tripping.
Yep.
Okay, it should be better. But yeah, it's like a hallucination, but it's also real because we got the POV from the other Straw Hats at first, the last chapter. Yeah, they were like, where did they go? So, yes, they drank the green fairy, was confirmed here, but also, where'd they go? How did that happen? Like, they just drank it and then they just, like, what happened? Did they just like fall somewhere else? Like, did they fall onto some other boat or something and they just got taken away? I think two things happened at once, basically. which is interesting. I was talking to Sherm earlier. He was saying that what if it was like a like from another giant faction on the island? So there's like some infighting between two sides, which kind of makes sense because you notice in this chapter too. They it was some giants that wanted. They were like, "That he can help us. Where he at?" With the fires.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be interesting because, of course, I would assume that a good chunk of them are for Shanks, while the other ones are buddy buddy with
I
Luffy.
can do it. I was
I actually like
also
that.
questioning whether or not we were on Elbath, or if this was someone's interpretation of Elbath. Because they name dropped Yggdrasil at the start of the chapter, which would lead me to believe, and especially kind of like the design aesthetics of like you're kind of into the cliffside. If you look at that last page, kind of like the town structure, this seems kind of Nordic in the way that this town is set up.
Yep.
So is this like a child's viewpoint? Is this like just what one of these our OG5 think Elbath might be? Is it a collective hallucination like we were previously talking about? So they take into account all of the different I guess thoughts on the untraveled path.
I think it has something to do with that. I even said that I wouldn't be surprised if this is like considered a small mini arc.
Yeah, in between Egghead and Elbath, I could see that.
Yep. But there's a reason why it's the core 4. I mean, core 5. There's like that's not just Oda just you know what? Or I mean, it could be. It could be Oda like it could be Oda being like, well, we haven't had these 5 all together in a while, like just these 5. So it could be that. But I do think that it's Oda going on a route of like something like meaningful, which we were talking about last week about the whole dream thing. So.
And also, it sounds like Luffy and co slayed and ate the ear god, which is the biggest bunny. So, like, if we are on Elbath and like these creatures that these giants consider gods, we're just like eating them for lunch. Talk about sacrilegious.
Reminds me of Punk Hazard early into Punk Hazard with the dragon and all that.
I was thinking you were gonna go more so for like Fishman Island with the the octopus and the shark and whatnot.
Right. Then again, when you boil it down, it kind of is every arc. With these kind of shenanigans.
So Zeus is still here.
Right. This was a cool chapter. Getting into something new. Pretty short, pretty quick. Oda, break. Come on, dog. Come on, man.
Get your rest, man. Get your rest, big dog.
Nah, don't get your rest. What you?
Nami was quite expressive in this chapter. Like, I don't think I've seen that many variety of faces in so long.
In this chapter, I pointed out, I was like, it is so much yelling in this chapter. I was like, damn. Going crazy with Zeus. Zeus going crazy. People roaring, gurring, and shouting and screaming is a lot. Like, God damn.
Yeah, I got kind of sick of the onomatopoeia, personally.
All right, I was like, damn, this is literally like half, almost, it almost felt like it was half the chapter. It kind of was, actually.
Yep, I will say I've never been the biggest fan of like the running away from something aspect of Oda's arcs. It's a way to fill some, stuff in the chapter, but
right.
Now, there were 2 things I wanted to talk about specifically with this chapter. So the first one is the transformative aspect of these animals. They seem to have forms to where they can get bigger, more intimidating, Do you think that is based off of what they're eating? Do you think that that's just an aspect of this hallucination? Do you think that we're actually on Elbath and we did not hallucinate?
Honestly, I do not know. The thing that really messes me up is the fact that we've seen the perspective of the other Straw Hats. They're like, where'd they go? So it's
Yeah.
like it's kind of hard to call what exactly happened. Sure, we do know that they drank the thing, so yeah, it might be a half hallucination, half real stuff. I just don't understand how did they just disappeared. Like what happened?
Was there another island that was name dropped that was not Elbath that was close to Wano? I know Egghead was one of them. I know that Wano was the original starting point. I know that Elbath was the other. So Elbath, Egghead. But wasn't there a third island that Law was trying to go to?
I think I do remember something like that. I'll have to look at the map.
I was just curious if maybe we went to a different island by mistake, or maybe there's like a littler island.
I don't know. Wait, hold on.
Yep. It's kind of hard, like Vonte was saying, to really gain a perspective about what's going on, considering the difference in what we previously saw versus what this group of 5 Straw Hats is seeing currently.
Because in the last chapter they said that they said that the boat was missing too, their ship.
Yeah,
because they had the
1000
ship.
Sunny, it was gone.
Right. What the hell? I'm trying to think if it has anything to do with like the seas, but I feel like at this point we would know everything, you know, like of all the shenanigans, the sea shenanigans, sky shenanigans, land shenanigans when we travel. I feel like we already would have went through everything. But I mean, maybe Oda is introducing something else because I just don't understand how did they just vanish? Did they teleport? Did they like go underwater into like a vacuum or something? And while they were drunk, they didn't know what was going on, so that's why, you know, or.
Do we know of a dream devil fruit?
Nope.
What I was thinking is that everyone is still asleep on those 2 ships, and this dream devil fruit user, since everyone fell asleep after the feast, that he is, I say he because, you know, antagonistic person, is able to make them seem separated. Because we've seen alternative realities with like mirror worlds. We've seen alternative interpretations of like interacting with another dimension with shadows. We've seen just like hockey, like travel through the time to go to another place. I could see there being like a dream world that is under the control of someone.
It kind of reminds me of what was it in One Piece? Didn't something like this happen in One Piece already, where characters were like sleep? Oh, it was one of the movies. That's why it was. I forgot which movie, but I remember something like that did happen, and they had to.
God, it's been a while since I've watched them. I don't remember.
I forgot which one it was, but it had to do something. Maybe it was film Gold. They were asleep, and then I think they were like also like. I forgot. It has something to do with characters being asleep, though.
Okay.
So maybe it's something that Oda is doing again, some kind of dream. It's not canon, obviously, but seems similar to that. 'Cause I remember some characters that are asleep and some that were awake, and then they had to awaken the characters that were asleep, and then they finally got up, and yeah. So I gotta. I'll actually search that up.
Let's see. And then I want to try to take a closer look at this emblem that's on these flags. I don't know. It would be hilarious if like they thought this was a hallucination, but they actually just woke up on another island, because Usopp got absolutely rocked with that right paw. My God, he did not deserve that. Him having the beard, though, that's a nice, little addition to his character design for the moment. I think he looks good with the beard. All right, well, I guess Vonte is away for the time being. When he gets back, hopefully he can reconnect here. I do want to talk about the fall damage, or the lack of fall damage, that Nami had. So what do you guys think? Do you feel, because the way that Oda kind of cut up those panels, it made it seem like we didn't actually get to see her land. They specifically made it a point, oh man, we're so high up. But then she falls down and she's not injured from the fall. It just fades to black, and then we're back. She's looking at the now lion. And Usopp's damage seems like it's more so just from him getting the claw attack.
Oh, to my Usopp.
Yeah, I was talking about the fact that Nami didn't really get fall damage. Did you see how far that fall was?
Yeah, it's funny when I think Usopp falling, I was like, oh, he's not gonna take fall damage. Oh, this is a dream. This is a hallucination. I literally said that. I was like, oh.
Well, the way that Oda did it, he kind of like faded from black to white, and we didn't even get to see her officially, land down. Right. But then I was like, okay, well, that's juxtaposed to the two skeletons that we see next to them.
I don't know. It's
I don't quite know what to make of this chapter. It's not that it wasn't good. I feel like it's going to get better once we get a few more and know what's going on. But I just don't have enough information to really form an opinion.
Then again, though, well, I know we're all technically under the assumption that, aside from just being drunk from the green fairy drink, that there's somebody pulling the strings, which probably was a silhouette that was waiting on them to come here.
Yeah.
Which would be interesting, because if he was waiting on the Straw Hats to come here, that means he's somebody that knows them or knows of them, and it makes sense for that core 5 to be those characters, because he probably knew about them, or maybe he had a run-in with them, or maybe this is somebody that we have seen before, or someone that's kind of like
wait a minute,
like how Barto was quote unquote at Low Town, even though we didn't see him there back then, but something like that kind of situation.
What if that poison from Shanks actually took about a month to kick in?
I mean, what do you mean? Like who?
So
who took it?
What if that silhouette we see is actually Barto about to die on the shores of Albath?
Could be. because technically, well, we don't really know what's the timeline of when Barto got captured by the red-haired pirates, right?
It was a
We just
month ago.
assume. Oh, it was a month ago. Okay. Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. You're right. You're
Yep.
right. Ah,
Yeah.
that would be wild.
And how long ago was the kid stuff? I assume the Barto stuff was before that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it would have to be because he did it around that time, and then in Wano, I think they mentioned, or
Gotcha.
yeah, or at the end of Wano rather. So yeah, that would be interesting. Uh, do you think? Okay, say if he was the silhouette, do you think? What do you think happened to him? Do you think he just got sickly? Do you think he got old?
I think he might have gotten like super old. I think it might be like an aging potion.
mm,
Or that a potion, poison, what's the difference?
right.
Hmm.
I still can't get a real read off of the whole like Shanks poison
can't
stuff. I'm just gonna take it as like it was just him testing Barto, and Barto passed the test by like protecting his leader or whatever. And then Yasop was just like, nope, he burned down our flags, and I'm just gonna keep it at that because
But
I'm not
Yasop
gonna try to
doing
think
that
of
just
what to do.
throws even more confusion on it. Like,
I
if
mean,
that's not what Shanks wanted, then why would he allow
that's
him to
another
do that?
thing. I think that's just kind of another thing with with them how they. I, it might just be Oda's way of like trying to like keep Shanks the same in our eyes and in Luffy's eyes, but like in reality, if had this not been a Luffy affiliate, just like with Kid, well, even though Kid wasn't affiliate, but you get my point. Like, had this not been a Luffy affiliate, he would be fucking done. So, and like he didn't want Shanks like Oda didn't want Shanks to do it necessarily, but
I see.
you know. Like they could, but then that you know what though, it still is weird though, because like Shanks let him go. Like you would think
Like that
but it's
means
like,
he's
okay,
good. Like
right,
that's the
and,
cosign.
and it still
That's the
implies that
cosign.
he would still fuck somebody else up if they just weren't someone like a Barto. Like
Yeah.
there's still the implications there. Okay, I'll let him go, but like anybody else though, like a kid or something, like kid or somebody, oh yeah, they got to go. So I don't know if it's older like overriding that in a way, or there is really something strange about Shanks's crew. Like I don't even when I say that they're strange, I still can't like put a finger on exactly what it is. Like yes, they are a pirate crew. That's what they're supposed to do, pirate things. But like,
They seem disjointed.
yeah, like on one point they seem like respectable and honorable, but then on the other point it's like they're like just real pirates. So, but maybe that's just the point. Like we view them in the eyes of Luffy. So when it does come to something serious, then it's like, okay, you are a great pirate, finally, Luffy, and we can kind of compete against each other, like for real now.
We can take you for real. Like
Yeah,
the kid gloves are off.
that'd be kind of cool though. Like imagine that. Like it's kind of like how a parent treats like a kid, you know, just playing with a kid or like a baby or a toddler. And as they get older, you start telling them things about life so they can understand life more. It kind of has that like the logistics of that in it, where it's like, okay, we're just like we're pirates. We're not playing pirates. We feel like when you grow up, yes, then you can be a great pirate, and then we can see, you know, how far you came or whatever. But back then, it's just very cordial. He seems like a nice guy, which he can be. Maybe they're just chill instead of them being quote unquote nice. They're just really a chill crew until push comes to shove.
What it reminded me of is the potential for Luffy to pull out another Saboti, and him realizing that Shanks's crew is so much stronger than his.
That's what I'm thinking, but in a way, I do have some problems with that.
I do too, because like, what have they been doing? Where have they been? They've
That's not
had
even a
almost
problem.
no influence. What's your problem with it?
My problem with it is like you literally are a Yonko alongside him. I know Luffy is, he's an idiot, but like, it's sure okay. Maybe they can, like, maybe that is used because it's like, okay, that's his mentor since he was a kid. That's his idol, so that can't get in the way. We've seen it a lot of times with like people, like celebrities or athletes, and people like that. But like at the same time, it's like he's I can't pinpoint the dialogue, but I feel like I remember him saying stuff about Shanks where it's like he talks about him as if he isn't like one of his competitors in a way. Or it's like,
He
okay,
kind of treats him and
crew.
views him as like a little brother.
Yeah, and Luffy views Shanks as a literal. Well, I'm saying from like Luffy's perspective, like even though he still idolizes him.
Oh yeah, he views him as like, I don't like. I want to say father figure, but at this point, it seems almost like an older brother.
Yeah, or an uncle. Yeah, something like that. So it's like I can't really.
What is it going to take for him to take him seriously?
Yeah, but I kind of already get the impression that he takes him seriously. It would be kind of dumb for him to not. Like, you both are a Yonko. Why wouldn't you take him serious? It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's like he respects him, but he doesn't fear him. And I feel like there should be a little bit of fear associated with. He's been now. He's like the longest tenured Yonko. He's been doing this the longest.
Yep. No, that's 100% a fact right there. Like, it's just the fact that he doesn't fear him, which is kind of dangerous because it's like
I know Luffy's Luffy. I'm gonna win the day.
Exactly. He's different. Shanks is different from a lot of people that are like that. Like,
and plus he has that emotional hold over him. If he were to betray Luffy, that would hit the hardest. If Blackbeard betrays Luffy, it's just like, oh, it's just another Tuesday.
It just depends how the betrayal has to come. Like, it can't be like, I don't know. I think Oda, that's something that if he does go down the Shanks betrayal route, he has to really nail it because I have a few problems with different ways for him to do it.
Do you think it could be, or it is being set up to where it will look like a betrayal, but in the end, it's for Luffy's best interest?
It could be one of those things, which is very Oda,
just to make him grow
like that. Yeah. Or kind of like a maybe like a Eren Yeager type situation, like Eren to Armin / the Avengers, because like okay, technically I'm doing this for you, but if you didn't beat me, I was gonna still do what I was gonna do. So that's kind of what I get that impression from Shanks. He's like, I don't know, man, but Shanks, like, you know me with Shanks. I always joke and clown about him. Even I genuinely don't really like him that much because it's mostly because of how Oda writes him. But it should be for a reason. I kind of feel like he needs to make Shanks the bad guy, or at least seemingly the bad guy on an Itachi type.
Mm-hmm.
Where it just depends how you look at it. Situation. I want something like that because Shanks being how he always has been portrayed to us, it makes, I don't know, it doesn't work for me. Because it's like, Shanks, do you not want, like, what do you want? You say that you want to claim the One Piece. He's saying it in front of his crewmen. He said, all right, I'm ready to go claim the One Piece. It's not like he's saying it toward, like, in front of Luffy or someone else. So he means that. He's not lying about that. But if he still wants Luffy to claim it, which, we kind of get that impression, like, he wants Luffy to be the one for some reason, like he just knew. It doesn't really make sense for him to even utter the words, it's time to claim it.
I still can't believe they ate the rabbit god. Savage. Okay, here's, again, this might be a 5-head theory, but I'm just looking for something else to talk about. Their does not seem to be any natural fauna in this city, does there? No plants other than Yggdrasil in the
Right.
background.
Hmm.
Do you think it's kind of taking over the island to where there can be no other type of vegetation?
That's a good point. But that's interesting. How the fuck do they be having all that food though?
Well, that was my next kind of connected point. With everything being so big, doesn't that make it a feast or be feasted type of environment?
Oh, so like
Kill
it's
or be
just
killed?
yeah. Yeah, but like I feel like if that's always been the thing for them, or at least for a long time, we'd assume. I feel like you would have to kind of venture out and leave the island, go far, and
Well,
go like. But what other islands could they really go to? We're
I'm
like,
gonna try to go 3 for 3 here with these connections, or possibly 4 for 4. So, who was defeated just last chapter?
um, what do you mean, like Barto?
Yeah, what was his epitaph?
The cannibal, the Barto, the can whatever.
Nothing to eat, vegetation wise. If you get hungry, might be time to eat each other.
Well, Oda would do it in the backstory. I don't think he would do it currently.
Yeah.
Then again, Oda has been moving a little different. I'm not saying that it's darker, but he has been moving it a little different. Where I feel like he's leaning towards like, okay, we're getting into like I feel like he was kind of waiting for Emu to be introduced for him to really get in on that
Yeah.
or
And
dial
then
in.
the last connecting point is that, pardon me, there's bees. Bees are the
Right.
pollinators.
Exactly.
And if there's
That's
no
interesting.
flowers to pollinate,
How the
what are we
fuck?
doing?
What is it? Yeah, that is very strange. Or the Legos really are just vegetation. This is Oda being real wacky here.
And I honestly don't know if he's just doing this for the aesthetics or if there is genuinely like a greater reasoning for it.
I feel like it's both. Well, obviously it's both. I get your question.
So do you think that they're on Elbaf then? Because the more that I look at this chapter, it makes it seem like they might be on Elbaf already.
I feel like I have a feeling that they're like inside of like a world within Elbaf. I don't know how to explain it.
Maybe like a child's drawing or like the playpen of a giant.
Yeah, something like that. Something. Because even the giants that are there look out of place in that Lego world.
They do.
Like the two giants that we've seen. So it seems like maybe they got like eaten or swallowed up or something, or like.
It reminded me of Sabrina from Pokemon, that you made these little tiny people from actual size people, and now they're your playthings in this little area. They're your dolls.
I think that's what's going on. I feel like. But just how the fuck did you end up there? You drank some drink and then you just.
That's a crazy power. I don't know if it's actually like the green fairy or like, is this another type of devil fruit? Is this only in dreams? There's a lot of possibilities for this.
I don't get it. What happened? I'm really trying to understand. Like, if say the other half of the crew were still there, that's like real. That's all real. There's nothing going on with them.
Yeah.
How did they not see the drunk people disappear? You know, like if you're sober, how did you not see them disappear? They're the ones that
I think they said that they were sleeping though, right? Didn't they say that?
Okay, maybe. Okay, then that makes sense.
Didn't they? I thought they said something like, "Oh, we woke up and everyone was gone."
Okay. If that is the case, and I just forgot about that. Okay, it makes way more sense. And
I
with the
think
core
that's
five,
what
I
it
still
was.
think that's on purpose. They're like, oh, let's
Oh
take
yeah.
these guys. Or maybe they were still sauced up and they were like up and stuff, and I don't know.
I was gonna ask, is there anyone before the core five add another member? So obviously anything before meeting Chopper. Do you remember any sort of like adversary that might be able to come back
Oh, okay.
up
So
until that point?
yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking it's like a Barto situation. Well, not Bart, similar to that, but not so like
Yeah.
somebody that was like how he was at Logan. I think it's that kind of character. I don't think it's somebody that we already know, but someone who was present at some point, but we obviously didn't know them yet because Oda didn't make them yet. And if that is the case, I don't know.
What
I
was
don't know.
I'm gonna pick your brain here for a sec. What was the terminology that was used either by Iceberg or by Usopp in terms of the Going Merry having the Klahadore? Or not the
Right.
Klahadore, the Clobberman, the Clobber.
Yeah, the spirit.
What did they say? Did they say it had joined them on the ride? Did they say it inhabited the Going Merry? I don't remember the specific terminology, but I'm thinking,
Something
what
like
if that could be done in reverse?
Wait a minute.
What if like the fairy or the Clobberman,
Exactly.
it could, bring them to their world?
Right. That's what I'm thinking. Because when you think about it, whatever the ghostly thing, if it was like a fairy, that sounds about right.
That'd
Plus,
be
why
a
not?
cool little like new race to introduce,
Exactly.
the fairy race.
Why not? Let's get a fairy race in here. Like, sure, we got dwarfs with the tantanas, but now we got fairies. You gotta hit everything. So maybe. I think Elbaf, this arc is gonna be so good because I think we're gonna get so much like really good lore. Like even the connections between these little fairies and the giants. Like, what's the connection there?
I think there's going to be even more availability for Oda to give us more rereadability for the entire series. Like he's going to drop some nuggets or he's going to introduce a concept that will allow us to go back and reread the entire series.
Yep.
I feel like he's going to do that a couple times in Elbaf.
Yep. And once again, since there's going to be around 3 different mediums of One Piece, you can get it by rereading,
callbacks, tie-ins.
Yep. Uroge, he's a fairy / giant. That's why he's big, but he's supposed to be really small, and he has wings. So.
Look, Vonte, you said that as a joke. He has the gigantification power. Like this lion had a gigantification power. Like the porcupine got bigger. There's some precedence here.
I really think Uroge is just off some ritualistic shit.
It
something so
off
about him to me. I don't know what it is. It's like something about him is very taboo and forbidden. Like he's not. Like he's from a sky island, but I feel like it's just something's really dark about him.
He has the prayer beads around his neck, right? Or around his arms.
Mm-hmm. And his nickname is literal Mad Monk. And he's always chill, but then when he gets mad or angry or amped up, he's like Hulk. So I don't know. He's different, but I think Oda will introduce. I'm not mad at Oda for introducing more stuff. Keep building up the world. It's crazy that he's still able to build up the world with completely new ideas, like damn near 30 years into the series.
And I'll just speak for myself. I'm pretty sure you feel the same, but it doesn't feel convoluted. It doesn't feel like it's too much. He's kind of salt and peppering it carefully. Yeah, it's not by mistake that he's able to keep introducing these new concepts that revitalizes the entire series.
Right. It's really cool.
Any thoughts on the cover page with the continuation of the
Oh yeah.
kidnapping plotline?
Well, what is going on with that? That's definitely something extremely important. Like it's not just you know like like people getting kidnapped and going missing. What the hell is going on in Wano?
Didn't they say it was like primarily little girls, or did they say just children?
Well, I know that the builder guy, he's out. He got
Yeah,
kidnapped too. So I guess it might just be different people. It's just,
smaller
I guess,
stature.
yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, Gavin, it might be something like that. Like they're on the island, they got drunk, they got captured. Definitely a dream thing. Ooh, man, I think we're still spitting. I'll say that in my reaction. We're spitting. I think our theory is still correct.
About the
With the
shared
five,
hallucination or the revisiting of the dreams?
kind of both, pretty much. Like they're kind of sharing this weird world, imaginative world, but also it's the fact the core five, the whole toast and the dream that they did at Lowtown, which is interesting because once again, Barto technically was from Lowtown, or he appeared in Lowtown, and we just got done with Barto stuff.
Yep.
So I do think it's very much, and I kind of feel like Oda he gets new ideas from the live action as well. So since he works close with them, or relatively close.
Hey, whatever sparks your creative fire, I am all
Yep,
for it.
for sure. Especially in more modern times where like, other people just have different perspectives on how to do certain things. It's always cool to see that.
And plus, like, you've been writing this for 30 years, man. You can get in a rut. It's allowed.
Yep.
You're allowed to
Mhm.
just say, like, I don't know where to go from here.
Hmm. Oh, that is it. Okay, so the fact that you even brought up the whole Clobberman thing, like, and I'm thinking about the Thousand Sunny, and say the Clobbermans are fairies, indeed they are fairies. That'll be pretty interesting.
Ooh.
So if he like, hey, I'm home. What's up, guys?
Do you think
Like,
maybe
yo.
that was what had allowed them to get to the island in the first place? Because they had a potential Clobberman on the Sunny?
Maybe. Hmm. Elbath, man. It just seems like it's gonna be a good arc. I don't think this is gonna be a mid arc. I think it's just gonna be very enjoyable, and whatever big things happen is gonna happen. But I think it's gonna be enjoyable.
I'm really anticipating how the tonal shifts will be. There's some great comedy in this chapter. There's also
Yeah.
some serious stuff. And how Oda kind of balances that teeter totter in this arc, it's going to be very enjoyable.
Yeah. Oh, what was it gonna say? Saul, my boy, Big Saul, Robin. It's
Coming
almost
home back.
time. It's almost time.
Can't wait. Speaking
Speaking of which, he's gonna be the one that's giving us the information because I mean he survived. I'm sure he probably was reading some books or that
He's
remained.
this arc's
Yeah,
egghead, or I should say Dr.
or
Apple.
yeah. Did he save the books? Isn't that what they said or Vegapunk said? Or he
I
saved
think they
some books?
the Giants brought the books back to him to study.
Right. Oh, he's gonna tell us a whole bunch of crazy information. Oh my god.
And especially with what Dr. Vegapunk already confirmed via his broadcast.
Yep. Oh, it's gonna be good. I said this before, but I think this arc is definitely gonna be like Zoe or Zao, whichever. I don't know. I always pronounce it either way.
That was fun.
I think it's gonna be similar to that, mixed with like I don't know what else, but it reminds me of that already.
So, like, slightly hot take. I really do not enjoy Zoe.
It's
I know it's
not
gonna be a
like
hot take.
that's not a hot take. It's not a
I
it's
feel
not
like
a
it's a hot
crazy
take
arc. How?
because, like, the Raizo is alive like whole reveal, I called it like 15 episodes before. I
Bro,
was like,
that's not really
there's
what I was thinking about. The aspect, I guess, or the thing I liked about was just the history, the stuff with the Kazuki clan and Minx and their relationship, the
oh,
Dawn,
sure. I'm just
that
saying
stuff I really liked.
that's the one thing I always hear people talk about when they say they love Zoe. It's like the Raizo is still alive. Yeah,
What?
I don't know. I
Maybe I
haven't had a
joined
lot
late.
of conversation with I know people at
Oh, fuck.
Zoe. I don't
What
know
is
how they
so
feel
good
about
about
it.
that?
They
Is
just
that
like
really the
it's such an
fucking point?
impactful
Okay,
moment. I don't
that
know.
is not.
I just thought it was lame. I thought it was underwhelming. It wasn't lame. It
What
was
the hell?
underwhelming. I was
Yeah,
like,
I was
Jack would
like,
not be so certain of this if it had not been for the fact that Raizo is alive.
honestly, I didn't even like I only like so if I were to rate that arc out of 10, it would get like a 6.5 to 7, only because I didn't really care about the Rizzo stuff. I only cared about the historical stuff. Every time we get any kind of historical bits, I think that was the first time we learned about the road poneglyphs
I think so.
or an update about it. Yeah, I think it was. And then Momonosuke and Kinemon, like all that kind of stuff I really liked. And I felt we are gonna get something similar to that, where the Giants, because the Giants have a connection with Sun God Nika, and I would assume in this arc we're gonna learn a lot more about like why exactly historically, and that kind of reminds me of the Minx and the Kazuki clan and the Dawn. So I think it's kind of they remind me of each other. So it's
I'm gonna somewhat wrap us up here. I know that we could talk a little bit longer, but I feel like we're just kind of just picking stuff
really
off the ground right at the
about,
moment. Remember what Dory and Broggy had said initially on Little Garden? They mentioned the warrior god Elbeth. Now, based on this chapter alone, that they called an oversized rabbit a god, do you think that warrior god Elbeth is just simply their champion of the series, not of the series, of their culture? Like he's just the top of he's the king.
I think it's a Kairos situation, but of course more grandiose than Kairos. But yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, which would be pretty dope. Like, do you think he's like really ancient, like a la like a Joy Boy, right hand? Or
Potentially. I mean, we know that Giants, they live for what, about 400 to 500 years, if I remember correctly.
I think so. I saw something funny. Warrior God Elbeth. Warrior Goldie Elbeth.
Well, I was thinking brave warrior of the sea. Usopp.
I was thinking of just B clan shit. I don't know.
Well,
just like
it
Goldie Roger. Warrior God Elbeth.
Warrior of the Belbeth.
His actual name is Warrior Goldie Elbeth.
All right, guys. So I will go ahead and wrap it up here. Yes, Gavin, as you said in chat, Undead Unluck Sunday. And then we're going to be having the fall anime season on Mugen Eclipse. Vontae and I's dual reaction, primarily anime, but we got some other stuff, reaction channel. So we got Dadan in a couple of weeks. We got Bleach Core 3.
Sure.
Should be fantastic. But anything else you want to talk about this chapter before we get out of here?
Nope. That's pretty much all I got.
Okay, perfect. If you guys could just go ahead and like the stream before I end it, because I'm going to end it in 3, 2, 1. Bye-bye.
Peace.